Hello everybody, this is Blazer and welcome back to Mario Kart Wii CTGP Grand Prix, and today we're moving on to the next cup. But first, what is our combination for today, you may be asking? Well, I'm glad you asked, because you didn't ask, but I'm forcing you to ask anyways by answering the question that you may not have asked. If that hurt your brain, then good. Today's combination, as you guys can see on the screen right now, is gonna be Dry Bowser in the Flame Flyer. So, honestly, looking at the stats of the Flame Flyer, this is gonna be an interesting combination to use, but also a good indication of the track's functionality for karts. So, any further ado, let's get into it. Today we're on to the POW Cup, which consists of the following 4 tracks: Bowser's Fiery Fortress, Caladay Desert, Camp Cardigan, and Candy Coaster. So it's looking like a very varied-esque GP, and I think it'll be really fun. The same rules as always, I'll be rating tracks based upon 3 different factors. That will be the functionality, the replayability, and the theming. So, these will be rated out of a fat 5. Just kidding, it's out of 10. And these will be expanded on based upon any small things I feel that need to be mentioned based upon their categories. So, without any further ado, let's get the ball rolling and let's get into the track, shall we? Starting with Bowser's Fiery Fortress. Well, I mean, I'm Dry Bowser in Bowser's Fiery Fortress. So, is this like the sequel? Okay. Let's get into it, shall we? I haven't had any practice today, so I will be a little bit more lenient if my play seems to say I'm not playing well. Oh yes, that's nice. We get a nice trick there. That's one of those trick cannons. Whoa! That was a hard turn, but at the same time I wasn't prepared for it. This track is very thin too. A bullet bill in 5th? Hello? That's perfect. Ow! This thing has obviously no acceleration, but of course has all the speed in the world. You know what? I'm gonna use it. That was a mean place to put me. Okay. Oh, is this one of those ones where the paths alternate each lap? Because I'm quite a fan of that. Okay, so it does merge on the same path, which, to be fair, I can understand. Thank God that red shell didn't hit me. And that blue shell actually helps me out a lot. This track does definitely scream out a Bowser Fortress-esque track. Whoa! 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 Come on! That's a little bit mean. There's so much to see in this course. Okay. Oh. Mario Kart physics at their finest right there. Okay. I just about got second place. That was interesting. That was very interesting. So, let's get to the rating, shall we? Bowser's Fiery Fortress. The theming. I mean, if you wanted to capture what a Bowser's Fortress-esque track would look like, that is one way to do it. That is definitely one way to do it. The climb, the underwater sections, the amount of things you have to dodge, the amount of things that are in there, all the fire around and lava and all that stuff, it all makes sense for the theming. I think it works very well. The custom textures are good, and honestly, because the custom textures actually look really nice as well. So the theming, you know what? This track's theming, I'm gonna give it a. This is probably the first one I'm gonna give for this, but the theming for this track is gonna get a 10. I really think it has a good 10 in mind. It captures what it wants to be perfectly, very perfectly, in fact. So, next is the functionality. Okay. I think this track is a bit difficult for karts. Not overly difficult, but I feel like bikes would definitely just stomp karts in this sort of track. It's not impossible. There are much worse examples, but I still think it is a bit brutal. Besides that, it still functions well as a track. So I think that's for functionality. I'm gonna give it a. I'm gonna give it a 6. And replayability. Would I play this track again? You know, I wouldn't mind. There'd be nothing to keep me overly excited and hyped about it, because the track is mostly the same. There's a lot to keep in mind, there's a lot of visuals, but there's nothing that keeps you playing it over and over again. It's not a track I'd scoff at and say, I don't really want to replay this. I'd be okay with replaying it. So as far as replayability, it's also going to get a 6, I think. It's a very in-the-middle track with good theming. Without any further ado, let's get on to the next track, which is Caladay Desert. Of course, as you guys know, all of the tracks and all the Grand Prix ratings, the top 5, will all be there at the end, so you guys can all see how I feel about certain tracks, and which tracks are my favourite and which Grand Prix are my favourite experiences. You guys will get to see that at the end. So, Caladay Desert. This is a nice, wide-looking road. It's actually not looking overly complicated either. I might be speaking too soon. Okay. All these red shells, I'm stacked. Let's go. Okay. Oh, we're going over the pyramid. I like that. I like that a lot. There's plenty of warning for that as well, and the pyramid is plenty big enough for you to not miss it. I think those walls are rideable, but I'll have to think about it. Oh my god, is that a pyramid boost? Oh my god, I like that. The Rainbow Pyramid of Doom. Of Doom or success, I guess. Okay. I got the hang of that very quickly. Damn. That bomb is good though. Oh. Saw that coming a mile away. Pyramid Rider, let's go. Oh, nice. That's actually very nice if you fall off the side as well. That's very forgiving. I love that. Okay, those are just walls, which is okay. I'm not going to take away from me wanting to be experimental. I love that boost pyramid. Oh, wow. A little slowdown there is necessary, actually. I feel like if you didn't slow down there, you'd run into little issues. Oh, the bouncy water. I like it. I like it. I'm finding out new things about this track every second, and I like it. Okay. I'm being curious here. Yeah, that was me being curious. Of course, I knew where I was going. I love venturing tracks, and this track has me very interested with adventuring because of how much I've found by accident. I discovered so much. Not on purpose either. Damn you! Damn you, Luigi. There's plenty of opportunities for shortcuts there as well. Oh, yes! That's nice. Okay. That felt really quick. And so, that completes Caladay Desert. You know what? I have some interesting things to say about this track. And some might be surprising, some might be exactly what you expect. Now, start with theming. I feel like the theming isn't the most solid. You can tell it's a desert, yes. It is very functional as a desert. There was a small thing I did notice, there were just some... It was more texture things. There's little sort of grate sort of textures, there's black sort of gratey sort of textures. They were in place. They didn't feel like they belonged in there, but they were there. As well as, you know what, I'll not much off of this, but comically large boost panels. As well as that, there's just some random. There's the pyramids, obviously. That tunnel it's good, but I don't know if it makes sense to be in a desert. Besides that, I'd say it's all good. So the theming is gonna get. It's gonna get a 6. It's gonna get a 6. Functionality. I can't knock it. I really can't. There's a cart. Using a cart right now. That was a very fun experience, and using a bike would be just as good as well. I didn't have any issues with falling off, the track was pretty wide enough. The boost panels when you did fall off of the pyramid were very welcome additions. there's a lot of shortcut potential that you can obviously think of, and there were some really cool and creative functional aspects to it that didn't knock the gameplay aspect. So the functionality is going to get a nice 9. A replayability. Would I play this track again? Yes, absolutely. I would play this track again. On multiplayer, this track would be fun. I have a feeling it would be very fun, very hectic, make for some interesting final moments as well. I feel this track I would vote for sure, in multiplayer lobbies that are using custom tracks. I'd just be excited to see how it goes. Playing it with the AI was fun enough, and the AI is not an actual player, so there is good potential for there to be entertaining races on this track. So the replayability, I'm giving it I'm gonna give it an 8. I'm gonna give it an 8. Yeah, it is very solid. I would play it again. There is no doubt about it. And without any further ado, let's go on to the next track, which is Camp Cardigan. I love that name, Camp Cardigan. And it's not like you know, just wait. Ooh, okay. There is a lot here just from this preview. Okay, all right. This is a very welcoming looking track already. I do notice that some of the tracks in this Grand Prix, it might also be my Wii as well, are having a little bit of a initial loading slowdown, but then they're going back to full frames as soon as that happens. Oh, there's gonna be, damn it. I feel like there's gonna be so much to explore in this track. Nice wide track is always welcome as a kart player right now. Oh, the two branches. I should have tricked off of there, but I feel like if I had tricked off of there, I wouldn't have had any enough control to really go much further. That was a lap already, damn. Laps are quick here. I'm gonna take this path this time. I have to say something very good about this Grand Prix so far. It's good, it is a good mix of good design and good functionality. Of course, its replayability is a bit all over the place. The other two aspects are definitely hitting so far. Just like that lightning hit. Yay, blue shell. I wonder when you would pop up. I have been front running for way too long, so you have to shock me at the end. It's just Mario Kart tradition. That bomb's not gonna hit. Damn you, Luigi! I hit myself. Blazing, you idiot. Oh, that was Camp Cardigan. My gosh, there is a lot to say about this track. The theming as a camp, you know what? It works. It works. There is only one thing that I do question a little bit, but that's nitpicky, and that is why have the camp be like, I thought we'd race around the entire camp and not be racing on like a main, like a really busy road. Most camps don't usually connect to a really busy road, as far as my knowledge goes. But the theming, oh my god, great. The camp, you definitely know that you're racing around a camp. You see a lot of spectators, you see a lot of tents, you see a lot of little huts. It's great, and I actually kind of like it. It feels very welcoming. So, the theming is going to get a nice 8 for this track. Functionality, I don't have any issues. Again, its functionality is very consistent. The roads are nice for carts. Bikes won't have an issue, obviously. The turns are fine. The branching paths are very nice as well. And I don't feel like any vehicle has an issue. And that's good for balance. So, functionality is also going to get a nice 8, I think. Replayability. Would I play this track again? This track has good potential in mind. I do think it has good potential in mind. I think it would be fun. And a lot of the variety would definitely add to its replayability value. I wouldn't complain about racing it on a car or a bike. It'd just be a nice track to race. So I think this track is going to get all 8s across the board. Its replayability, its functionality, its theming, it just makes sense for it to be that sort of rating. And the final track of this Grand Prix is Candy Coaster. Let's get into it. This has been an interesting GP, and you know what? For a change, I've actually kind of been enjoying it. Okay, alright. It's looking like there's a lot of verticality to this track already. No more bombing myself at the finish line, though. We don't do that. I'm assuming those little puddles like the oil slicks, and you'll slip in them. The Goombas are quite nice. That's a nice little spiral. I like that. That's pretty cool. Oh, a nice little cannon. Very smooth as well. It's not one of those zippy, in the middle of nowhere sort of cannons. Oh. I don't mind this verticality, but something feels a bit weird about it. I feel like I needed to slow down there, otherwise I would have fell off. Oh god. That little section is a bit weird. I don't know if I'm a fan or not. Can I trick that? Yes, I can. That was me messing that up, but that's actually really nice. These corners are very, like, kart welcoming, at least at the beginning. But later on, when it gets to that really, like, blocky sort of section, I don't know how to feel about that. That section really... it makes me a bit upset. Oh, okay. Why did I slow fall there? That costs so much time. Something tells me with that little bump, that could be double trick. I have to drift so early to do that part. Oh, come on. Ah! You know, I might actually start adding to the... You know, I might do that now in this episode. You know what? Yeah, I will do that in this episode. I'm going to start making a list for the least favorite tracks as well. Oh, am I going to fall now? Okay, at least they counted for that sort of situation. Oh, man, come on. Only a bike can do that. That's really the way I'm supposed to do that. That's not the funnest way to do that. Oh my, blue shell at the end too. Just to end it, you know. Oh damn it! Robbed me right at the end with that blue shell as well. Okay. So since that's the last track of the GP, you know how the theme goes. We're gonna go to the menu and then I'm gonna give my opinions on that last track, which is Candy Coaster. I came second to Bowser. Bowser too strong. Yes, okay. Time to give my opinions on Candy Coaster. So, theming. Starting off with theming. Solid. Very solid. I mean, you definitely could tell what it was. I mean, it was a candy-themed track, and you could tell that from the several lollipops and sort of ice creams and the sort of candy-like road. You could tell that's what it was. It was quite solid. Some of the textures were a bit on the odd side, but I'm not going to knock it too much because they weren't an eyesore per se. So, the theming, for me, I think I'm going to play it safe and give it a nice 7. Functionality. This is where I'm torn. This is where I'm very torn. The vertical parts was a cool thing, but the vertical parts was the least functional part of the entire course. There are so many times where you'll fall into the grass, or you'll fall off the track, and sometimes you don't have control of that because it's simply punishing you for being in a cart half the time. Its cart functionality is really not great. I could not express that enough. The rest of the track is perfectly fine. It's just that very blocky vertical part, that very thin vertical part, it doesn't work right, in my opinion. So, the functionality, I'm going in the middle and giving it a 5. Okay, I'm going to give it a bit more credit and give it a 6. Replayability, would I play this track again? I wouldn't be against it. I wouldn't. I just... Dozen parts can annoy you much more the more you play it. So I wouldn't like to play it many times in a row. I would actually kind of dislike it for that. But if we're talking every now and again, I think it'd be fine. So this replayability is gonna get a 6 as well, which concludes all my ratings. So without any further ado, guys, that has reached the end of this episode. I'm going to be giving you the updates on everything right now. First off, here are the top 5 Grand Prix as they lie, and their respective ratings. You can see them all there in their former glory, in their glory. We're almost reaching 5, so it might, well, we're almost reaching 6, so there will be time to swap out these Grand Prix. And as ever, here are the top 5 tracks, as you guys can see right here. It's getting interesting because there's a lot of things being swapped out and replaced constantly every single episode, which is really fun to do. Really annoying to edit in the editing software, but that's all good. You know what? Because I've added it this episode, here are my top 5 least favourite tracks. These are the ones where I'm thinking, I wish they had a little bit more to them. A little bit more to make them either more functional or look a little bit better, just to be up to the standard that some of the others do set. They are not bad tracks by any means. There aren't really any bad custom tracks in CTGP, because they get changed out and replaced all the time. And that's just part of people making better tracks and new tracks and improving on what they already know. So, without any further ado, guys, that's the end of this episode. I'm going to leave you off without a question today because I'm relatively busy. I'm actually in the process of watching the CSGO PGL Major champion stage, but that's nothing important. Without any further ado, guys, I'm going to close off this episode. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll see you all in the next episode of Mario Kart Wii CTGP Custom Track Grand Prix. Rate the Grand, yeah, you know it. You all love it, and take care, guys. Have a lovely old day.